Emma, we've got the Angelini report out later into women's safety, but I guess my kind of question is, how safe do you think women currently feel?
I don't feel there has been enough of trust and support that has been met for the younger generation. I know that 49% of Gen Zs and 46% of Millennials actually still feel very vulnerable and very unsafe. And actually, they will be missing Christmas parties this season because of their safety. They're just going to avoid it altogether. And if we reflect on when the Angelini inquiry came out, that was around the high-profile case of Sarah Everard. And actually, I'd say that group of women and minority groups were the most affected. They felt the most vulnerable and open they ever have because they couldn't trust those stakeholders that they should be relying on.
Stakeholders like the police, right?
Yeah, local authorities, police, government, yes.
People who should be keeping them safe. Because you've got this, you've done some research, haven't you, looking into how women feel. And I think the thing that really came through is how women are changing their behaviours.
Yeah.
So not going to the Christmas party or, not going to the social event because they're worried about getting home.
Agree, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, I identify with it. Our research shows that actually women feel more vulnerable once they've had a drink, which, in Britain, we all enjoy ourselves, we should all be able to do that. But actually, we then have to risk assess how we get home. And we do alter our behaviour. We end up spending more money on cabs, on cars, on transport. That equates to £100 extra a month. And actually, 1 in 5 women have been harassed whilst they're taking their commute to and from work. And I just don't think that should be the case. We should be able to live our lives and be free from harm.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about this stuff, actually, because I think it is the kind of thing that men don't, and I don't mean this, but like the kind of checklist in your mind that men don't necessarily have to think about in the same way. And I know men have other dangers and risks too, like I'm really not trying to underplay that, but like, who's that walking behind me? Is this someone that I need to, be conscious of and worry about? And what's my escape route if he turns out to be not the person I hope he is? Is the kind of constant
mental load.
Mental load, yeah.
Completely agree. And I think this is where WalkSafe has always been so needed, where there's been mistrust from police and government. Our app has been downloaded over 1 million times. I would say the bulk of my demographic are women, as 75% are women. Probably the age range that use it the most are Gen Z to Millennial. And I still feel until we have rectified quite a few of these big systemic issues, there will always be a need for us.
Because we've got the Angelini report out later around lunchtime, and the app was obviously, I guess it really took off in the wake of Sarah Everard when people were really feeling very unsafe about their safety.
It really did. I mean, we saw 500,000 downloads in 10 days, which is staggering. I think there was this huge call to action. I think that people wanted to have an immediate safety tool that they could use just to show how, they were getting home. They wanted a SOS button. And actually post that, what we have started to see is businesses playing their part. So we have WalkSafe Pro, which basically means that SOS button's connected to one of our partner security firms, Mighty. And actually, whilst they're walking home, if anything were to happen, if they feel unsafe, someone's walking too closely behind them, something's happened, they can hit that SOS button and it will alert them that they need help. And that's really developed out in the past year since we've taken off.
So do you think that companies and employers have got a bit of a responsibility here?
I do.
As well, then?
And I actually think when we reflect back post Sarah Everard, 6-7 years ago, what we did find was the public emphasis was primarily on the public sector, and rightly so. We were let down by police forces and councils. However, what I am starting to see is businesses recognising they've got a huge workforce, they have got money to be able to provide these safety benefits, and actually they should be doing more.
It's really good to have you on, Emma. Thank you very much for coming in today. Emma Kay there, talking about women's safety, and it's obviously something that we should be thinking about all the time, but particularly, of course, with that Angelini report coming out today with Sarah Everard at its heart.
And that comes out lunchtime today, of course.